anymore. Don't pretend you ever forget about me. Don't pretend you ever forget about me. Magna widow or a divorcee. Just, it wouldn't be kicking off a night of magic if we didn't look at an unkeepable 7 to start. Just, hey, keepable 6. Thoughtseize on top of the deck. Sign me up. We are on the play or on the draw? Oh, on the draw, the Thoughtseize is even better because we get to... Let's just go ahead and Thoughtseize them here on 1. Sounds great. No. Problem matchups for this archetype are... okay. You're just taking the jump home scenario here, right? Chalice Goblins. Interesting. I actually don't care a ton about Chalice, and this hand doesn't. Look at the white bordered tilt mountains. Yeah, they're even playing a Chalice there. Send me up. Legacy decks, right? That's fine. We can discard that to the Liliana the Veiled on the line. Go ahead and grab a Scrubland here. Go ahead and grab Batterskull. Grit places. Problem matchups for this deck are decks like lands and elves. And like Corrosive Grip doesn't solve either of those. Not by any means. Don't have drawn removal. Goblin Chieftain, sure. Take 2. So their hand is War Marshal, Chalice, X, land. Ding. I think I'm actually going to just play Liliana and Edict them here. Because once they have a War Marshal next turn, this card's going to get much worse. And then we'll just get in here for 1. This like gives them another chance to draw removal here, but like I also have another Stoneforge Mystic, so like it's not the worst. No, I think this deck actually is a very good Storm matchup, Goldie. If this deck didn't have a good Storm matchup, it just like honestly wouldn't have any reasonable matchups and it wouldn't be playable. Storm usually has a pretty difficult time dealing with a mix of discard and permanent-based disruption. Beyond failure. Yep. Pitch, Goblin Lackey, play Pyrokinesis, yep. Land, sweet. To the fire. Discard this plow I can't cast. Deal. I talk to you. I'm streaming from Linux. I am playing on a Windows virtual machine right now. I'm just a sucker for pain. Alright. Unless they have artifact removal here, they're going to be about to be very dead. I'm just a suck. Magic Online barely works on Windows. You don't want to try and play it under something like Wine. God, that's rude. I guess I get another another equipment now. Land. Yeah, I mean, it's just play this. Get my Feast and Famine. Am I just like playing this Tidehollow Sculler out? Probably. Let's get 2 idiots in play so we can start connecting with this Jitte next turn. I'm not plussing this. I want all these cards in my hand. This dies because they can't pay for Echo. Goblin Matron, sure. That doesn't really do anything. I just plus my Liliana and get rid of whatever they get. No, I don't think so. What did they get? They got Gem Palm Incinerator. Oh, Kaya. Look at that. It's probably just like this Collective Brutality, right? equip this. Attack with this. Sure, man. Jitte trigger. Is the game over now? My Jitte triggered. For pain. Oh, sure. Stack things that don't matter. Alright, what are we doing? I think I just want to trim this 1 mana discard since they're chalice deck. Council's Judgment sounds great. Gideon sounds fine. Extra Batterskull sounds fine. I guess I don't actually have enough to bring in this matchup, so I'm going to leave the Inquisitions of Kozilek in since they don't hurt me. That seems fine. I don't know that any of these other cards sound particularly great. Like, maybe the Thalia is playable is just like a first strike idiot, but I think the fact that it like makes all these spells cost more mana means it's not good enough in this matchup. The matches where we want to bring Thalia in, she's going to be like much better against them like Storm and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is just the plan. Yeah, maybe. I feel like when the game gets to that point, Rogue, they probably have a Chalice in play. So, like, this hand sounds great. I'm going to be able to fetch basic lands to play around Wasteland. So I've got a Stoneforge Mystic. I don't have any 1-drops that I have to worry about with a Chalice. Lackey, and I'm going to die. Aether Vial, deal. The Hourglass Glass. That's a good draw. In before did turn with Lackey, right? Opponent's not doing quite traditional Goblin things. The main deck Chalices are interesting. I'm going to fetch now. Just build up our basic lands here. Immortals. I'll play out this Stoneforge Mystic. I'm just going to get Batterskull so that way this demands an answer. Get Batterskull number 1. See if they got a Stink Scourger or not. The question now becomes, do we Council's Judgment next turn or not? Pendelhaven is adorable. Wow, they didn't have anything to put into play from that. Interesting. So they probably have ways. This gives all your other goblins haste, right? Yeah. So they don't have anything to put it off of this. I think I'm actually just going to Council's Judgment this. That seemed loose. I feel like... Yeah, I'm just going to do this. I'm not attacking just in case they have something to put in off of this. This way next turn I can go like 2 mana, 2 mana. This is maybe Resource Efficient. This might be a little loose. I might be like over evaluating like what they have going on, like their ability to interact with this. But like if they interact with the Batterskull and like just keep pounding me with that Chieftain, I'm in kind of a bad spot. So I think I want to just get that out of there. Lets them be really aggressive. Immortals. What you got? Goblin Lackey, sure. You have a chieftain, another Chieftain? Chalice of the Void, sure. Yep, felt like an X spell. Let's fetch another basic land here. Correct. That is definitely a thing I'm aware of. Hey girl, you know you drive me crazy. Tuk Scrapper, I believe is what it's called. There's also a 2-cost goblin that destroys an artifact, but it requires spending green mana. Scrapper's 4, right? I believe Scrapper is 4. I could also just like have an Ancient Grudge. Tuk Scrapper is 4. Yeah, so this did not go to 4, so that's good for us. Feel like now. Wow, so didn't attack, so that means doesn't have an answer to this Batterskull. That's good for us. I'm killing Dark Confidant here? Sure. A pebble in the water makes a ripple effect. Every action in this world without a consequence. If you wait around forever, you will surely drown. I see what's going down. Another Stoneforge Mystic, you say? I'm going to leave that for next turn. I'm going to play Kaya here. I'm supposed to attack first. Feel better now as she falls to the ground. So next turn, I can play this out, and the next turn I can go Stoneforge, get Jitte, play Jitte, equip Jitte. They discard, we draw. She said, this doesn't hurt. She said. Coming round again. Do you feel like a man? LeClaire Randy with the 16-month resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Welcome back. This doesn't hurt, she said. For my next trick, I would like to show you my 5th basic land. God, I love playing basic lands in Legacy. It's my favorite. Let's play this. Let's go get another basic land. Play this out. Go get an Umezawa Sturgit. Where I go. We could even get a backup Batterskull if we needed it. I don't think we're going to need that this game. You discard a card, I draw a card. Alright, this basically ends the game at this point. I guess they could technically triple block this plus Pendelhaven to kill this germ, but like it doesn't even really do anything. Come on now, follow my lead. Alright, nice to start off the night with a nice easy first round here. Something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Ooh, that's going to be a Tuk Scrapper. We might have a game. Maybe I should have gotten a backup today. Yep. Okay. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to kill... This is damage to me too, right? If that artifact is put in a graveyard this way, so you're going to be able to kill my Kaya too? Okay. The the question is like, are they killing my Jitte or are they killing my Batterskull here? Because the Jitte probably is even in a position to still take over the game, right? Yeah, I think we can just win with the Batterskull here, probably, right? Like if they kill the Jitte, I'm just gonna like Jitte kill Lackey, Jitte kill Token, and then like I have this 4/4 that's gonna keep beating down. I'm just gonna like put double Dark Confidant into play. Yeah, they're killing the Jitte. Probably smart. I don't have a backup Jitte, which is kind of unfortunate. Something brand new. I'm in love with your body. We're technically drawing a lot of lands here, but probably doesn't matter. I guess this is probably... I probably shouldn't have wastelanded them here, because I'm probably supposed to leave mana up to return this Batterskull to my hand. If there's a way for this to go sideways, it involves my Batterskull dying. That's probably a little fast and loose. They could like rip another Matron into a Tuk Scrapper. Or a Ringleader into Tuk Scrapper. Okay, they bricked, so that's probably the game. I'm going to draw 3 cards this turn. Alright, play Gideon. I mean, I think there's more games of Legacy that last long enough for Gideon to be relevant than there are games of Modern. Most games of Modern are over before Gideon, ally of Zendikar, can be relevant. Whereas, like, in Legacy, in the matches where you want to bring it in like this, he's plenty reasonable. Oh, just... Is that good? If so, why? Oh, yeah, you're right. I could have killed the Tuk Scrapper and saved the Kaya. Good call. Thanks for pointing that out. You get to bounce Gideon. Ha, that is a legal play, isn't it? I actually want this Gideon to go to 5 so I can emblem him next turn, I think. Get out. Yeah, I can, right? 5/5 human soldier ally with indestructible. Oh, it's not legendary, is it? I mean, if I kill them, I don't get to draw 3 cards next turn. Did you consider the part where we don't get to draw 3 cards next turn? Because I am just a simple man who wants to draw a couple more magic cards. I'm keeping it just because I want to keep a 7-card hand. If I don't keep this 7-card hand, we're never going to keep a 7-card hand tonight. It says Thoughtseize and a Dark Confidant, and I have a dream that this Dark Confidant's going to draw some white mana. Alright. Alright. That's how it's going to be. Watch him just draw a Bolt or another Daze, and I'm just going to, like, slide out of my chair. That's exactly what happened here, isn't it? He's just going to, like, play a Lightning Bolt, and I'm just going to slide right out of my chair. This guy was hoping to draw Brainstorm. So this is why the reason why Legacy players love Brainstorm is because you can just, like, and I've played Brainstorm decks, so I know this is true. You can actually just keep any garbage hand like my opponent kept here. Like, Daze, Truding Nemesis, 5 lands in the draw is awful. But then, like, you draw Brainstorm, you get to shuffle 2 of these lands away, he finds a removal spell for my Dark Confidant, and, like, suddenly he's super far ahead. Yeah, see, like, look, I've read this book before. I know how the story ends. I missed my 3rd land drop after keeping 2 lands on the play. Like, you know. Nah, man, he'll just draw Blains. See, just like kept a garbage hand, drew Brainstorm. It just didn't matter anymore. Missed my 3rd land again. Oh yeah. Oh, just like running equipment with a Stoneforge Mystic already in my hand. Like, Garruk Relentless is my favorite Planeswalker. Yeah, my hand was great. Like, it's like perfectly reasonable. Or cast True Name, the game's effectively over. Umezawa's Jitte of their own. Sure, game's still effectively over. I mean, like, I guess I get to cast this and escalate it now, right? Don't you dare daze me. Don't you dare daze me. Well, we tried. 3-month resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it, Apprentice of Bolas. Welcome back. Quarter of a year. It's not a daze. My opponent did technically satisfy my request to not daze me. I do appreciate them for that. I think I'm just cutting the discard. I want to be more live off the top. I think this is what I want to do with my life. I don't think I want any other things up here. I've got 2 Gaddock Teegs here. I'm gonna board out these Thoughtseizes too, just so, like, we're less likely to know what's in my opponent's hand. So we don't know when it happens again, like happened that last game where they kept a garbage hand and then just hit the insane perfects. So I'm gonna highlight these 14 cards here that Thalia makes cost 1 more mana, and then we're not gonna bring her in. So all of these cards Thalia makes cost more. Thalia is here for spell-based combo and spell-based combo only. We are not Death and Taxes. We do not have predominantly creatures in our deck with Aether Vials to, like, make our mana be more efficient. Like, we are a spell-based mid-range deck that Thalia does affect. So she's here as Storm Hate and Sneak and Show Hate, and not something you bring in against random blue decks. Honeymoon, if I woke up next to you. No, the sub icon is based on how long you've been subscribed for. I'd love to play first. Remember that time I said we kept that last medium hand because it was the only time we'd keep 7 tonight? Peppered Farm remembers. I mean, yeah, this is fine. This is fine, I guess. I'm going to bottom this because we just, like, actually need to draw lands. Face of failure. Divert. Okay. Ponder. Brainstorm. Spell Snare. Probe. Daze. I'm going to take their Ponder and just try and play around some of this other stuff to the best of our ability. Yeah, Sapphire is the 12-month icon, and then Blood Shard is the on the top of the line. I mean, that's just like Magic in general, right? Like, you mulligan a lot in games of Magic. Like, there's a large subset of Magic hands that are just, like, unkeepable for a variety of reasons. Mulliganing's a privilege, not a punishment. Like, it's much better than having to keep hands that are full of uncastable spells. It's just like, you know, it's worse than playing a digital TCG where you can avoid some of that nonsense. But, you know, as far as it goes, getting to mulligan a bad Magic hand is much better than having to keep it. Look, man, it puts the cards in the revealed zone for you. Why are you waiting so long? If I woke... We just want to draw, like, lands for our first 3 or 4 draws here. I don't actually have that many things that Divert is good against. Can't divert this. Can't divert this. Huh. I think if they want to divert plus daze this, I'm okay with that. Really don't care about True Name with this hand. Am I supposed to take their Brainstorm? I feel like I'm just supposed to take their Brainstorm. Go. And we know they have a Daze in their hand, so we can't actually play this guy out. You're gonna go far, kid. You know Wasteland me? Deal. This... Oh, does Probe not put them in the revealed card zone? I guess I haven't actually cast Probe on Magic Online. Yep. That's a good draw. God, how good would it be if they missed on a fetch land here? That'd be so good for us. Low chance, right? Like it's probably 9 to 11 fetches in their deck, and they're going to see 3 new cards. Good D sky, yeah, might between the eyes. Father line. Who is this right now? This is the Offspring playing. Holy crap! Did they miss a land? God bless. God bless us, everyone. So they're bricking for the next 2 turns here, which is just awesome. Are you gonna Wasteland one of my fetches and then stifle me? There's stifles in their deck. I'm just like, have no idea what's going on. Delver of Secrets, sure. I'm just gonna plow the crap out of this. Fetch a basic plains here. Things there are plenty of in my deck. Basic lands. Land. Ding. Alright, hopefully they didn't draw force. Damn it, they drew a force. Or they're reading. Hopefully they're just reading this. I guess they could have a bolt to kill this here, but like, if she like draws, they discard and eats a bolt, like, it's like a 2-for-1. It's fine. There's the days. Just taking a drag, now they're going to bed, and my stomach is sick, and it's all in my head, but she's touching his face now. Dress now. No bolt, that's good for us. Yeah, right, just like the cards in their decks, they're just like playing blue-red cards I like, basically. They chose to shuffle, God bless. Control. How good is Kaya? Gets the concession, you say. Alright, submit. Submit. Do I want more Thoughtseizes? I feel like I might want more Thoughtseize, especially on the draw. It's probably better than these Collective Brutalities. Famous last words. Although I guess I could technically divert my Thoughtseizes. I think I want Thoughtseize over Collective Brutality on the draw, so I like more turn 1 plays. I just can't in good conscience keep this, right? I'm just gonna like miss and get wastelanded and just like hate myself indefinitely. Whatever. Not mulliganing to 5. Ding. I'm going to play this tapped as opposed to playing the Inquisition into a divert here. I never God, we're about to get fucking... There's stifles in their deck. Why? What is even going on? Just like, can anyone tell me what is happening on the other side of the table? And anyone at all? And anyone? Bueller? Anyone? God, welcome to Legacy. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a heck of a ride. So like, even if we mulligan to like a reasonable 6 there, like that same thing could just happen to us. God, this person right here. This is my favorite thing, is banning people I don't really care for in my chat. It's so great. Get out of here. And like, them's the beats, right? Like that's just how it goes sometimes. Like you just gotta like just concede the game and move on to the next one. Like you're gonna lose games like that sometimes in Legacy. And it's just like if you're not okay getting Wastelanded then stifled out of a game, like you just can't play Legacy and like you just gotta roll with the punches. Like, there's nothing salty about like just saying like this is how it is and like that's what the format is and like that doesn't happen in other formats of Magic and that's fine. Like that's just like one of those things that's unique to the Legacy experience. But like if you're not okay with that, you just like can't play this format because that's like my opponent's deck was kind of odd with that combination of cards. But like the Stifle Wasteland archetype is something that's like very popular in Legacy. In fact, more of the Delver decks recently have been playing Wastelands or Stifles. Sorry, they always play Wastelands. Have been playing Stifles specifically. Yeah, like it's just like the tilt generation of the format, which again, it's fine. Like I know what I'm signing up for, and just like pointing out that that's what it is. Strip mine is banned in Legacy. That's why, like, I'm assuming by cheaper you mean in terms of dollars. Um, yeah, my last opponent's deck was kind of neat. Like, it was kind of had a unique collection of cards. Seemed like a lot of sweet like one ofs to get people. It's like fine. Like divert's a sweet card. Like Rogue mentioned, like diverting a him. That's super hot. Stoneforge Mystic, you say? Yeah, I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna go get Sword of Feast and Famine with this, right? I mean, if someone's winning by strip mining people out in Legacy, like, is it really that much more obnoxious than most of the things that occur in Legacy? Like, can we just be honest with ourselves here and like talk about what's occurring there? Like, is it really that much worse than some of the other obnoxious things that happen in Legacy? I I would argue it is not. Let's put this Sword of Feast and Famine into play here. Let's equip it to my Dark Confidant. Do they have main deck Abrupt Decay? That would be obnoxious. This feels like a main deck Abrupt Decay, right? I might just be paranoid after what just happened in the last match. Just like, what could possibly be happening to us game one here? Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, Modern's a total crapshoot right now. Like, there's a reason I'm not playing Modern. Like, I definitely think Legacy is like 10 out of 10 my favorite format in Magic right now. There's a reason why I've been streaming a bunch of Legacy and not streaming Modern. Also, I would just like the record to reflect here that it looks like we might be about to get a game one off of Elves, which is just insane for us. Especially since we've got two copies of Sir Teaglesworth here in our sideboard. My Kithkin advisor does not care for the Elves. Don't natural order me. God, could you imagine just like getting natural ordered after saying we're about to take game one? Just like slide out of my chair. This card, untapping your lands, is so good. It's so good. He'd get Crater of Behemoth and attack us for a bunch. Bob Fidant, not Batterskull. God bless. Inquisition. Two lands. There's the Craterhoof Behemoth, speaking of. Alrighty. Let's put this Umezawa. I guess I technically didn't need to activate Stoneforge Mystic, did I? Whatever. Yeah, there's the concession. Alright. Teaglesworth, Grafdigger's Cage, Liliana the Veil out. Just that's God, that's so clean. That literally it? Is it just like these three in, these three out? I think that's it. Excuse me. I'd see an argument for a second Batterskull. Second Batterskull's probably better than Kaya. I think I'd accept this. Yeah, I kind of like this. I don't hate... Is Ally Zendikar better than Trials? Probably. Probably. Although I guess I can't cast this while Teeg's in play, so that's probably not true. Let's do this. God, does anyone remember getting like hit by Birds of Paradise on turn 3 with a Sword of War and piece attached to it in Standard? Like, God, that was so miserable. I bring in all 4 surgicals against Storm. Inquisition into Dark Confidant with Toxic Deluge in the opener. Sign me up. Whoa, this is a keepable 7. Holy crap. Mark the calendar, ladies and gentlemen. To me, wine. That's pretty good for us. I just like 10 out of 10 Wasteland them here, right? You don't lead on Dryad Arbor because your hand has other lands in it. Neurotic to the... Really? Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's a little aggressive. I feel like I played Elves for like a short while, and I feel like I never led on that if... Could have been an incorrect read, though. Oh, Visionary. Wow, they did just have a bunch of lands in their hand. Okay. Trying to bait the old removal spell there, basically. Pretty good. Oh, geez. How good is this Collective Brutality about to be? Can we just, like, take a moment and appreciate how good this Collective Brutality is going to be next turn? It's going to kill this Wirelord Symbiote and take the Natural Order out of their hand. Pepperidge Farm remembers how good this Collective Brutality is about to be. Oh, fucking fuck. Seriously? They drew... Holy crap. Well, I guess... Man, remember that time I was greedy and played the Dark Confidant on turn 2? Remember that time I played Dark Confidant on turn 2? I mean, I'm going to kill this Progenitus with the Toxic Deluge, but we're not going to feel good about it. It's not going to feel good. I'm going to cast this Toxic Deluge and pay 10. I'm not happy to do it. Ugh. Alright, so like, real talk here. I'm supposed to Collective Brutality and play Dark Confidant, right? Because if I cast Teeg, I can't hard cast Batterskull next turn. Yeah, you are technically correct. I should have attacked first. God, watch me flip the second Batterskull next turn. I will just slide right out of my chair if we flip the second Batterskull next turn. I'm going to attack first. Just so we can try and avoid that, I think. Alright. There is in fact a second Batterskull that I put into my deck, right? I'm pretty sure there's a second Batterskull in my deck right now. Oh, yeah, of course there is. Oh, I could Plow Bomb on the upkeep. Yeah, I probably should do that, right? Like, that's just like the super conservative line. Plowing the Dark Confidant is probably correct. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to Plow Bomb in response here. Like, it's like pretty low chance, but like I'm like 0% to lose this game otherwise, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna Plow Bomb in response here, just in case we flip the Batterskull. Not gonna take the 1 in 43 chance here, and we would have been fine, right? Like we revealed Collective Brutality. Like everything would have worked out okay, but like, am I getting Abrupt Decayed? I feel like I'm getting Abrupt Decayed. They're going to be really sad when I play this Gaddock Teeg. Alright, so I'm going to play Gaddock Teeg to turn off other things, and then I'm going to go ahead and Collective Brutality and just gain some life here. Discarding this Thoughtseize that I don't need. Just do this. All right. We lost to getting Legacied out of a game with the old Stifle Wasteland, but we did beat Elves. So like, you know, scoreboard. Got no pain. All your secrets away. We're on the draw. I'm tired of mulliganing. This hand's really good with a second land. And it doesn't even matter if it's like a wasteland. Ding. I'm just gonna start keeping more loose 6s or loose 7s on the draw. It's just a pretty easy Stoneforge Mystic here. Opponent mulliganed. If they want to force something, they can force something. We have multiple cards in their hand that are going to be pretty good. Hopefully they didn't draw Plow or Counterspell here. Drew a second Dark Confidant. Sign me up. They drew Plow. They're going to have Snap Plow for the second one. Yep. Force pitching force. Okay, that makes sense. We did still get a force out of them after they mulliganed, which feels good. Chose not to shuffle. So they have a Snapcaster in their hand. Let's see what their other card is. The Plow. No. Pulling the trigger. Missed our third land here, but like we hit our second on time, so like, you know, glass half full. If we draw a Wasteland next turn, even we can play this Liliana the Veil and start taking it up. Chose not to shuffle, so Bob's dead. You know, this is our bed. We're lying down in it. We're gonna go land Jace. We're gonna crawl in a corner and cry. Snap Ponder. Yeah. Missing on 3 wasn't a big deal. Missing on 4 kind of sucks. So we didn't have anything to do with our mana. I mean, that's technically castable. Another Snapcaster Mage. Stoneforge, sure. Feast of Diamond's pretty good. No box. Come on, white source. White source. Ding. Alright, sweet. Another Dark Confidant. That sounds great. Yeah, it's 10 out of 10. Just play this. I suppose I also could have, like, attacked with Dark Confidant, traded it for the Stoneforge Mystic, and then, like, Liliana edicted them. Seems kind of loose, though. Boys will be boys, boys. Hey, K-Smith. Boys will be boys. I don't think he plays Wasteland in his deck. If he has Wasteland here, it's going to be pretty annoying for us. This is kind of annoying, because I only have the one plow up here. Just let this happen. I think I just let this happen. So the way this ended up working out, I'm going to take the plow here. I'm going to take my Deluge. You think so? I mean, if the two Bobs in play, they probably take the plow. This feels like a take the plow kind of hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just take the plow there. Forward to the attack for 5. Yeah. It's good attack. I'm going to discard this Tidehollow Sculler. It's always cloudy except for... Taking the Deluge seems really bad here. If I'm, like, paying 3 on this Deluge to, like, kill my Dark Confidants too, that seems great for you. One night stands, one night and one more time. That was a good flip. I think I just have to Deluge, though. And I guess we die to, like, a counterspell here. I'm pretty sure that's the line, though. Like, we've just got one card in hand. I guess if it's another click here, I could be getting too aggressive. If they're another click, they probably... Alright, yeah, okay, we must just be getting counterspelled, right? And then we're dead. Holy crap, that worked. Yep, land go. You have a Snapcaster? No Flash Creature. Okay, good. In a good spot now. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. I think it's just Tidehollow Sculler into Liliana the Veil here, right? Yeah. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. Tastes like you, Miss Sweeter. I'm just going to trade Wasteland for a fetch land here. Verdict's a good card to know about. Something we need to play around for sure. Miss Sweeter. We have Judgment to clean this up next turn. With the tights underneath, I got the breath of a last cigarette on my teeth, and she's an actress. Drew Snapcaster? We drew Plow. Okay, interesting. So you're going to discard the Verdict? Sure. While my tongue is on the inside of some other girl's teeth, tell your boyfriend that I'm a vegetarian and I ain't fucking scared of him. Am I supposed to Judgment this, or I'm probably supposed to just save this for Jace, right? me get this Batterskull. Probably supposed to, like, get Batterskull Jitte here, right? I guess I could get Batterskull plus Feast and Famine. Yeah, I'll just do this. I think this is fine. Set list that you stole off the stage had red and purple lipstick all over the page, bruises. Huh. Here's a good ponder. Did they keep off that ponder? Chose not to shuffle. Yes, I know what's coming. So this is happening. I think I'm letting them just click me in response here. Yeah, I'm just going to let them click me in response here because I think I want to cast this Council's Judgment. I guess I could put the Batterskull into play. I kind of want the Batterskull more than the sword. But I think they're going to just take the Judgment here. I'd like to leave my options open. You were barely up by 20 points. I don't want to hear it. All right, he took the Batterskull. Interesting. This is actually a great draw, for reference. Actually, it's a really funny draw, right? Because I get to Karakas this and then discard it from their hand with this Sword of Feast and Famine. How funny is that? That's, like, really funny, right? I feel like that's really funny. Pick that one up. Is it a concession? Feels like a concession lockup. Oh, yeah. I don't know if this is a Gaddock Teeg matchup. It's definitely a second Batterskull, Ally of Zendikar, Council's Judgment matchup. Toxic Deluge seems... Toxic Deluge was okay that game. It's not good in general, I don't think, in this matchup. What else am I cutting? I can trim one plow. I don't know if I want to cut all of them. They're playing Stoneforge Mystics. I guess I have Brutality to kill Stoneforge Mystic too. I don't know if Teeg's worth it. Teeg might not be worth it. Can I go down to 2 plows? Is going down to 2 plows unreasonable? I'm going up to 3 Council's Judgments. You think I like this board plan? These are technically 2s for purposes of curve. I'm just putting them there to put them at the discard. Is Teeg good for Jason Force? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Force isn't going to be in his deck post board. Teeg is mostly here for the Terminus decks, and I guess, like, he's got Verdict in his deck. So, like, Teeg is okay against Verdict. Like, maybe 1-2, but, like, what is the Teeg better than is the next question. Like, I really don't want to cut another Plow. I kind of like all the other cards that are in my deck here. I guess Gideon of the Trials isn't particularly good, but, like, is Teeg better than a 3rd Plow? I'm not sure if you're a troll or just ignorant, Tunneling Cat. The blue-white control deck featuring Terminus and Unexpectedly Absent is one of the more popular decks in Legacy right now, at least online. We haven't had a ton of paper tournaments, so probably just in general. So what do you think? It's like 3rd Plow or 1st Gaddock Teeg here? I could see the 1st Teeg being better than the 3rd Plow. I also just like the fact that they could have just like a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic is kind of scary. I think I'm gonna air like this. Yeah, do some research before you spew. If like everyone that posted random chafe on the internet just like did like a touch of research before they spewed, the internet would be such a better place. It seems like, it's a keepable 7. I could see that Teeg's better on the play. I could definitely see that being true. Because then we have like more ways to answer Stoneforge Mystic before they put Batterskull in. There's like turn 3 Liliana on the play kills their Stoneforge Mystic before they put Batterskull in. Our president can't, right? Like, if the president can't, why should everyone else? Did he mulligan this game? Nope. Kept 7, brainstormed, missed. All right, sometimes it's your opponent's night to not run hot. We are definitely running good. Cast him to Torok. Him to Torok resolves. Sitting in a room made up of only big white walls, and in the play around Spell Pierce here just in case. Exactly what we're here for. Don't look up, just let them think there's no place else you'd rather be. You're always on display. No, by now. Oh, you know what? There's a non-zero chance there's back to basics in his deck, so I should probably fetch around that since I can afford to. This game looks like it's going to be a runaway for us, but if I'm thinking about it, I should probably fetch around back to basics. I'm not just jamming the Gideon because Spell Pierce is a magic card. Yeah, I just used Pandora. Out in style. Yeah, I mean, his hand's pretty good. If he had a land. I could show you how to build your fences, set restrictions, settle for the world. Just blame the limelight, don't look up, just let... Why did I crack on end step? Because I wanted to thin my deck marginally to have less of a chance of drawing a land. Because this road is all you'll ever have. This Stoneforge Mystic is going to have to chump block us here. Otherwise, we're going to get to... untap our lands. I'm on a custom station. It's a mix of things. So this is going to chump here, and then they'll take 2. Whoa, they're not chumping. Whoa. Deal. Yeah, you dumbass, you do all this big talking. I suppose if they hit a true name, we could theoretically be in trouble. They hit the land for true name here. They don't hit the land for true name, they're super dead. Alright, Rogue gifting us with some variants and getting us to 3-1 here. Yeah, I really have to say, I just like the black-white build. We're running pretty good tonight, but I like the black. I think the Teeg's probably worth it. I've got 1 Bayou for the Teeg here. We've got 8 fetches. We've got like 10 green sources. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's hanging out here tonight. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a TCG player and content producer. If you're new here, welcome. If you're enjoying yourself, I'd encourage you to show support. Use that follow button. Helps other people find my content. It doesn't cost you anything to do so. If you're really enjoying what you see and want to help me produce more of this content, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. Both of those help support myself financially directly so I can stream more often. You can also support my content by supporting my lovely sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout, you will save 8% on your singles orders there. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. You can get custom playmats and mouse pads and all sorts of stuff there, and you can use code Jeff12 to save 12% on your purchases there. We also have mtgcardmarket.com, publishes all my written content every week, every Friday. I actually posted a primer about this deck list that I'm playing right now there this morning, and you can use code Jeff10% to save 10% on all of your physical Magic card purchases there. And then sparedeck.com is actually kind of a neat service. I actually use them for most of my paper tournaments. They rent physical, standard, and modern decks. So you can rent a deck from 4 days up until an entire month. And if you use code Hoagland7 there, you can save 7% on your rentals. Look at that. We did the whole spiel. It took like a little over 60 seconds. Still waiting to find a match here. We got to get our fancy sellout banner ads here. Look at all those. Look at all those. They pay the bills, folks. God bless them. I wouldn't be here without all of them. So if you can't afford to subscribe or become a patron on Patreon, you can patronize some of the people that help support my stuff here with things you were likely to buy anyways. I think we are strongly favored against the Black Red Reanimator deck. Post board, we have 4 Surgical Extraction, so we can interact with their nut draws even when we're on the draw, and their deck is pretty wildly inconsistent, and we have a lot of good tools for interacting with them. You have 3/2 incoming. So I said that earlier. Yeah, definitely. We are at least getting fun bucks back from this league. So I think I'm down below 100 tickets again. That's sad. What unfair decks give you the most trouble with this list? You're really pretty poorly positioned against lands and creature-based combo decks like Elves and Alurin. Kaya is one of your better tools for grinding out the blue control decks in the format. Like, this hand is a keepable 7, so we're going to keep it. Our opponent's going to play a Duress or a Preordain or a Lotus Petal on one, and we're just going to, like, wish we had kept anything else. But, like, these are the hands you're signing up for in a deck like this. Sometimes you're just going to keep a mid-range hand, and your opponent's going to be playing a combo deck, and you're just, like, you're going to lose the game because of it. All right, Ponder. Could still be an okay matchup for us for this hand specifically. Yeah, I guess it's technically Abzan. I don't know, it depends on, like, what you consider this Gaddock Teeg splash on the board. Chose to shuffle. I'm going to play a Dark Confidant out. He's the highest upside if he lives, I think. Also, our opponent could still technically be... Okay, we got Dazed. There's no guarantee our opponent's playing a Dazed deck here, and, like, they could be playing an unfair deck, and Dark Confidant gives us the best chance to draw relevant interaction next turn. I did not get a chance to watch the GP or the SCG. I was at a family cookout most of today in a location that did not have mobile internet access. If you look at the... Are we getting forced here? Yep. Oh, I love getting forced out of games playing a fair Magic deck. Feeling pretty good. Looking like they're a Delver deck. Toxic Deluge and Council Judgment both pretty reasonable here. Really? Another basic island? Huh. Not quite sure what they're doing. Are they a Stoneblade deck, perhaps? They could be another Stoneblade deck. Go ahead and cast this Jitte. They have another force. They have another force. It could be Merfolk, but the Ponders are throwing me, right? Like, Merfolk usually doesn't play Ponder. Yeah, that's the... It could be Merfolk with Ponders. Like, there isn't really a stock good Merfolk list in Legacy, right? Once we have, you know, one Scrubland out, let's just fetch them all. Already exposed to Wasteland. Might as well. Okay, there's a Delver. Play a second threat. I do still enjoy Legacy more than Modern at the moment. They both have their ups and downs for sure. Pyromancer? Oh, we're just equipping, sure. I guess I could have just Council's Judgmented this Umezawa's Jitte at some point. Waiting to play it around, to play around Spell Pierce is probably worthwhile, though. Tidehollow Sculler. Yeah, I'm gonna see what's up here. Kind of know what they're doing now with the Delver. Like, Delver with just main deck Jitte, like at least he's pretty creature-based right now, so, like, the main deck Jitte's not completely unreasonable. Exactly, Vapor Snag. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and Council's Judgment their Umezawa's Jitte here, and then if they brick next turn, we get to equip our Jitte and kill this Delver of Secrets. I can even see playing multiple Council Judgment in the main deck. This card's such just like a good, flexible catch-all answer. So we're flooding, but opponent is also flooding here, which is nice. What is on top of your deck, opponent? They get to use this Mysterian Force kind of a scry, so even if they flip like a Daze or a Force or something they don't want to draw here, they get to shuffle this away. Okay, they missed, so they get to shuffle now. They don't draw removal for this. They're going to be in a pretty bad spot here. Casting Solding Torch, playing Solding Torch, that's kind of bold. They might have drawn Force of Will, so they can hardcast it. I'm going to save this Inquisition for down the line. If they have a Bolt, they're just going to kill this in response, so I don't think there's any reason to wait or to fire it off aggressively here. Like, if they do find an answer to this at some point, we could use this Inquisition to take this Vapor Snag back out of their hand before we give them a target for it. Like, I kind of want to save the Inquisition for being able to, like, force a threat through down the line. Now that this Jitte gets to keep a counter on it, this Tidehollow Sculler is going to be immune to Lightning Bolt, which feels good. Like, we know one of my opponent's 2 cards right now is the Mysterian Force, so there's no reason to just, like, fire off this Inquisition willy-nilly. Even if my opponent draws one of their better cards here, like, say, True Name Nemesis, we have a Toxic Deluge to clean that up. Yeah, Tidehollow Sculler feels really good. There's a reason why I'm up to 4 copies of it in the deck right now. So, not 100% sure what my opponent's doing, but this is definitely a more Council Judgment in matchup. I don't really love Kaya against the Delver decks, I don't think. I'm bringing the extra Batterskull, the extra Council Judgment. I'm going to trim a couple of Thoughtseizes. Do this. Yeah, Legacy, and the big reason why Tidehollow Sculler is so much better in Legacy is, like, so, like, you look at this deck list here, like, Stoneforge Mystic in general is a card my opponent, like, needs to answer on the spot. Dark Confidant is a creature my opponent needs to answer on the spot. So, like, I have these, like, 12 must-answer threats, basically, and eventually one of them is going to stick around and, like, be annoying to my opponent. Gosh, that's another keepable 7. Who am I? It's like an episode of the Twilight Zone. I feel like an episode of the Twilight Zone. So The thing about Kaya, and this is just like a good deck building thing in general, is that like just because you often sideboard a card out doesn't mean that that card is bad and shouldn't be in your deck. Kaya is just like what I would call a fine game one card because like the floor on Kaya is still reasonably high. Like even when Kaya is at her worst, it's still like an okay Magic card to have for a particular situation. Like the worst case is like you're playing her and she's like they're discarding a card, we're drawing a card. Spell Pierce, sure. Daze. Yep, that's fine. If you're dazing me to put yourself behind, that's great. And there's some matchups where Kaya really shines. The matchups where she doesn't shine, she's still just like plenty reasonable. So I'm going to go ahead and run this Jitte into a potential second daze because my opponent wants to time walk themselves again without a threat in play. I think that's fine for us. Because like I'd kind of like to play this Liliana the Veil next turn. So like if they daze this, and they're pretty unlikely to have a daze for this Liliana. I don't actually have an educated opinion on blue-red painter, so I'm not going to tell you something that is or isn't good because I honestly don't have a good opinion on it. Something that I do need to think about here is that my opponent likely has access to Blood Moon post-board, so I am going to fetch a basic Plains with this. We want to work towards getting 2 basic Plains in play so we can Council's Judgment a Blood Moon off the table. We'll see what my opponent does here. After this Brainstorm, they're pretty likely to have another daze in their hand, so I think I'm going to run the Lingering Souls out as opposed to the Liliana of the Veil next turn. I get Blood Moon next turn, I'm going to be a little bit sad, but I think this is fine. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to... Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to fetch a Swamp there, so that way if I get Wastelanded next turn, I can still cast this Liliana of the Veil, because I actually only have 2 black. Brainstorm, sure. Yeah, I think that was a misfetch here. This should have been a Swamp. I kind of wanted to work towards the Plains for the Council's Judgment, but I think the fact that I can get Wastelanded here is more likely than I get Blood Mooned. Because like there's probably 4 Wastelands in their deck, and even if they're on Blood Moon, they probably only have 2 or 3 at most. Not getting punished, so not getting Wastelanded. If my opponent attacks with this Insectile Aberration, I'm going to go ahead and double block. And the reason why I'm doing that is if my opponent has something like a removal spell, I don't mind if they're spending a Lightning Bolt on killing half my Lingering Souls effectively. Umezawa Jitte, sure. I'm going to play this Liliana of the Veil and just Edict them here. I mean, the best deck is to play in Legacy. I'm not actually sure. I like this deck, but I think I would be doing you a disservice if I told you this is one of the better decks in Legacy. So I guess it depends on like what tier you're comfortable playing with. Like if you enjoy playing mid-range decks in Modern, like I really enjoy playing mid-range decks in Modern, and I like this deck that I'm playing a lot. But this deck definitely is not tier 1 in Legacy. I'm fairly certain it's at least competitive, but I don't want to like sell you something that it's not. Basically, Wasteland here drawn is another reason to have run the Liliana of the Veil out here. Ooh, we're killing my Horizon Canopy. Sure. Sure. Industry name. Yep. Okay, so ideally we want to draw... Oh, I can just Liliana plus to get around a daze in their hand. Sweet. And discard the Stoneforge. Get rid of a card out of their hand. Council's Judgment. We're not targeting True New Nemesis. We're voting for him. Vote True Name Nemesis 2017. He's going to fix all this country's problems. Breaking my back just to know your name. Goes the tone. Wiley Edel, top 32'd the Legacy Challenge last weekend, and then 5-0'd a league recently with a Jund deck. This Liliana can deal with this True Name Nemesis. Tonight, Just gonna go ahead and put this Sword of Feast and Famine into play so we can get more mana next turn. Told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. Something new. Holy God, we 4-1 to League. It's weird. We cut the Deathrite Shamans and we immediately did better than 3 and 2. I think I like this better than the build of Deathrite Shaman. Goes in a place like this. Bring it back down tonight. Hoo hoo. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I want to play the Legacy Challenge in the morning, I think. So if you look at mtggoldfish.com, you will find plenty of good data on there. You're playing a league with blue now. No, I think I'm